Hello.
Hello. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Blah, 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 blah. Funny noises. Hello, RIT 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Hello, everyone. Hi, welcome. Hi there, bestest boy, Masonic, Morse. Weirdly enough, Morse, you were here, like, probably before bestest boy. You put in the time to say, run this, and then you did the fucking, boom, the pants grab, and you didn't go for first. You were just like, run this, and then you missed it. Just the keyboard spam in the background. Yeah, like, that's what I'm normally doing, is, like, people will still message me, like, coming up to when I'm about to do streaming and such, and I am, like, you know, I am just very much, you know, if I don't message them in the next, like, 30 minutes or something, then I am going to entirely forget to message them at all. And they're probably, and like, if they are aware that I'm streaming, they're probably, maybe some of them might not be interested in, you know, doing the actual, like, oh, maybe he'll message me after stream or something, or maybe, I don't know. Maybe not enough people know that I stream. I don't put everywhere that I am streaming. There's like all the... Ah, Jesus Christ!
Thank you, Bestest Boyox, for the tier 1 gift sub to Morse Amalgam.
Bestest Boy, thank you so much for the tier 1 gift sub.
Thinks you should do 20 squats.
Alrighty then. I am going to need to do... I'm going to need to do some squats then. I can't do it from this position here. Let me get back down to here. Alrighty then. Let me do some squats for you, chat. Let me just move this microphone here. Thank you, yeah, thank you, bestest boy. All right, here we go. Big stretch. Big stretch for the big boy. Big stretch for the big boy. All right, here we go. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Thank you for the 20 squats. Thank you for the 20 squats there. That boy. Oh shit. It's that boy. All right, I need to move this window over here for a tiny bit. How is everyone's Tuesday? I did like a doing great, squatting bean. Excellent. 23% cute for that boy. Alvirus's throat. Oh no, why does your... I hope you're okay, Alvirus. Damn. Sore throats are never a good thing. Ugh. Excuse me as I now, like, because I do the squats so quickly, I'm like, let me just catch my breath real quick. Done. Done. Paste all that in. Let's see. All right, so we got 34%. We got 60% from that boy, though. That was pretty cool. You had a volunteer shift at a cat shelter? Big bummer. Oh, no. Wait, you can't go to a cat shelter? Like, are they worried that the cats are going to catch your sore throat or something? Cool, this is going to get worse, or it is nothing. Yeah. Shit like that does not work out very well. Ugh, excuse me. Slowly but surely, I won't be like so out of breath. All right. Actually, you know what? I can do sippies. I don't need to wait for someone in chat to redeem sippies for me. I can just do sippies right now. Alrighty, sore throat is... Oh no, I already read that. Wow! I don't want to get anyone else sick. It's contagious. Please, I don't want to end up coughing in a kitten. No. I wasn't saying you should cough in a kitten's face to test my theory. I'm just saying I don't think like cats and dogs can get sick from our coughs is what I'm saying. Like, you know, we can get the swine and the avian flu and shit because it's, you know, doing a jump from like, you know, a species to us, but it can't go like us to a species, I don't think. So, yeah. I wasn't meaning cough into a cat to test that theory. I was just meaning, you know, maybe, you know, just blah, 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 blah. Where's my brain? You know, I just wasn't aware that, you know, you were going to do that for the what's-mahoozy, for the cats. It's usually not zoonotic, but I don't want other humans to get ill. Yeah, so fair enough there on not wanting the other humans to get it as well. It's usually probably a better call that if there's other humans in the area that you leave the humans alone. And they probably also wouldn't appreciate it if, you know, a random furry is just like, hello, greetings, humans. Pardon the cough, humans. I am just with the sore throat. Now, where is the cat? I will relegate myself to only the cats. So, yeah. So, there's that. Got paid today, which was really nice. So, I didn't dip into savings and such. And I'm going to be real with you, Chad. I'm not really great at saving money and what have you. Hello, humans. Hang on. Let me try and do this as straight-faced as possible, all right? You ready for this? You ready for this? Hello, humans. Great to meet you. I am Grant. I am a zebra. I shall stream for you Final Fantasy XIV Online in just a moment, humans. I am socializing with the viewers because humans are social creatures and would love to have conversations with humans or other humans or anthropomorphic humans. I myself also enjoy conversation. Do you enjoy conversation, humans? There we go. That's just, oh my god, such a smooth fucking hand. Oh. I do as well. Great, excellent, that boy, _97. God. Everyone's just sort of like, oh, why doesn't he just talk like this all the time? And it's just sort of like, do you really want to hear, like, just some autistic weeb just talk like this the entire time? He's an alien, kill it? No! We aren't killing the zebra! You are welcome, that boy underscore 97. I wonder, how long do you think I could go on with, like, you know, being the robotic zebra? Like, if I put a timer on, how, like, I wonder, what would be the challenge? If I don't retain resuming to be a robot for, if I don't retain the human thingy-majiggy, do you try not to be autism? Yeah, exactly. Let's try a try not to be autism challenge for a gift sub to whoever can have me break out from my what's-a-mahoozy, from my don't be autism challenge. If no one did it and I break it anyway, then it's just gonna go to a random viewer in the chat. How does that sound? 30 minutes? I won't have my hands here the entire time, however, because then I wouldn't be able to play video games. Yes, 30 minutes. Alrighty then. I need a timer. So, give me a second. I'm gonna go over to the main page. Turn off the... Oh, that reminds me. I need to turn off the actual, like, camera for the game source, so then that way it doesn't use up my resources. Turn on the thingamadoogies camera. And when the timer goes off... Alright, so studio... Actually, no, I should do... So, go back into studio mode. Go into core overlays, and we are going to create text, and it's going to be called 30M timer, and so it's just going to be timer up here. I'll change it to like a you know what? I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna put it like there. Tools. Output timer. No, that's not what how do I do the timer in the, hang on, scripts. Ah, here we go. It's called Countdown Lua. So I need to probably duplicate this, or open file location. And I need to make a new one for... This is going to be some real amazing stuff, chat. Here it is. So we need to open with Atom. I'll stop the music in the background in just a bit, don't you worry. Alright, so there's the countdown timers. Control A, Control C, file, new file, Control V, and... Alright, is there... I'm trying to think if there's any unique... Oh no, it's probably just... Actually, you know what? I don't need to make a new one. I just need to... So close that. Get rid of that. Put this back on. Close that. I just need to do a new Countdown Days Lua. And... Ow. We're still not doing the Do Not Autism Challenge just yet. Edit script. No, I don't want to edit script. I want to... Unless there's a way... Open file, look. I guess I'm going to have to Control-C, Control-V. So it creates a duplicate. And then just go Countdown Days 1. So then that way when I add that script... So then that way it is... Alright, so the timer source... No, I did not see it. Is going to be the 30M timer. So that's going to be the times up thingamadiggy. And then it's going to be 30 minutes. So, alright, so if I disable and enable... Alrighty. So that will do that. So now I need to get my stream deck up. So then that way I can go into... That way in core overlays I can like do a countdown thing. Alright. Source visibility. And it's going... So in the core overlays is the 30-minute timer. The 30-minute timer, I will be real with you, is a little bit too big. Alright. So let me shrink this. Alright. How's that? That good? You did all that you could. Thank you, Saltiax, for throwing stuff at me. Alrighty then. So. Cool. So that hides it and... Alright. Here we go, chat. At the start... The timer. Yes. So you may have missed, like, most of the conversation earlier on. Also, I need to pause the music in the background. You may have missed some of the chats earlier on, but I am going to do a try not to autism challenge. And I'm going to be, you know, speaking in a very monotone voice and try not to get overly excited and, you know, not go into any rants, you know, non-autism things. I know this sounds ridiculous considering I'm saying that I'm trying to do a, you know, monotone and just be like, you know, very matter-of-factly and hello humans kind of thing, but hear me out. We're gonna try it for 30 minutes. If I fail at this, someone is gonna get a gifted sub. If they're the person that cracked me, they get a gifted sub. If no one was able to do it and it was something like in the video game or something like that, then a random person in the chat is going to get a gifted sub. Sound good? We'll come up with a better name than the Try Not to Autism Challenge, because I will be real with you. That might be seen as insulting out of context. So we'll figure out other names, and I would love to hear people's opinion. So Alvirus is the one who did the Try Not to Autism Challenge, and hi there, Sir Dragon. All right, we're gonna start the challenge. There's gonna be a 30-minute timer in the top left. I can't be overly reactive, I need to be monotone, and I just need to be very matter-of-factly and do no rants. So, intro fighters, off. Monotone voice, engaged. Timer, start. Aaron Vold's Adventure. I am not pleased that you have de-himboed me, Sir Dragon. Bliss seems troubled.
My day.
Come to see
be
how
so
we're getting on.
fine. Then boom. Morning.
We've made good progress since we took back Alamigo, but there's one big issue we still have to address. Leadership. The Domans had Lord Hien ready and willing to take the throne, but we've got no one like that here. Theodoric was our last.
Here is your cookie,
he wasn't
that
called a
boy.
for nothing.
I should
Suffice
make a message in the chat explaining what the 30-minute timer was for. Oh no. That boy stole my shirt. Soul tax. I gotta resist. I gotta resist. Good evening, Velk. The timer at the top left of the screen is to see whether or not I can remain monotone and do not exaggerate. How are you today, Velctorum? Hello. I would love to hear some tips, Velctorum. Do you wish for me to go into the Discord voice chat?
If only it were that easy. Everyone and his uncle has an opinion. For the time being, we're just going to have to keep leaning on General Aldin and the Alliance for support, and see if we can't find a solution together. Something tells me we're going to be hosting a lot of meetings in the near future.
For salty cacks. I shall
But if
now
that's what it
channel
takes, I'm ready to
Daria
talk till my jaw aches.
in order to remain monotone and not exaggerant. The disco redeem nearly got me, but I stayed strong
The reach is yours,
and I
Nago.
didn't
Don't do
dance.
anything I wouldn't.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Ah, there you are. I've been searching all over for you.
This is going to be
Don't worry, it's
a
nothing
very boring
bad. That said, this might not be the best
stream.
place to talk. Will you join me?
This probably would have been funnier if there was a series of YouTube videos that I could observe.
I'll get to the point.
Thank you for
Might you be
the
interested
boots,
in a spot of
Masonic.
adventure? After all, we were adventurous before we were scions, were we not? After routing the Imperials and liberating
Hello there.
Amigo,
Ah,
I reckon we
fuck!
earned a bit of respite, don't you?
I wasn't supposed to do
What better
that!
way to spend it than by returning to our
Damn
roots?
it! I wasn't supposed to like respond to the fucking like hello there. Just doing a fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi. God damn it.
Faboy_97 paid me to say hello fellow human. I see you engaging in human-like activities, example video games.
It's because it was a reactionary thing. There was the hello there video and I was just sort of like hello there. And I just it wasn't meant to be in the monotone and it just threw me it got me out of the loop, okay? It just decided to like break me out because of like I wasn't meant to be like hello there. Alrighty. Congratulations. Let me gift you a sub. Here we go. And I'm about to get yeeted, aren't I?
Thank you Grant for the tier 1 gift sub to Salticax.
Congratulations, Salticax. You were able to get me with a fucking hello there by just hitting the classic autism of let me just repeat what someone has said. Nice work. Great going. Just fun little pets for you now. You don't have to deal with advertisement and you get to have these fun little emotes. Where's my emotes? There's my emotes. Look at all these boys. You'll be able to pick a favorite at some point in the future. That boy spent so many points. Oh my god. What did you spend? You spent 100 points on the TTS bot. You then savaged it the cactar. You stole my shirt. You did a cookie. You did a nut. You did the day be so fine. And then Sir Dragon, like, de-himboed me. I will probably do the gifted sub thingy-majiggy, like, maybe for, like, a you laugh, you lose sort of challenge or something or rather, but I need to like adjust the VC face so that, you know, if I actually do a smile or something like that, it will actually make the model do a smile, because right now there isn't really that much of a smile. There is at best this one. There is barely any difference between no smile and smile. I will need to fix that. You do not want to see you do not want to see my like lips just decide to show off teeth. That would look really fucking weird. Hang on. Control K. Whoop. Nope, not Control K. Walk. Alright, I'll double check with Wolk about this kind of shit, because it's what we do, I suppose. I was not paying attention to what he was saying. I'm gonna be sorry with you. I was trying so hard not to be, you know, we need to think of a better name than Alvirus's try not to be autism challenge. Or try not to autism. Spearmint Spice, reach level 65. There is a number of peeps. Alrighty. Ehrenwald. Ding. Do. Right then, let's go and find Master Levelure. Actually, leave that to me. I want you fresh for our little adventure. Wait for us by the Aetherite and we'll be along shortly. See you there. And then he just like goes, yay. Alrighty. He has to put me all the way over there, doesn't he? But yeah, if I can do a better... If I could have better expressions, then... You know, then I would probably do like you laugh, you lose and try and do some tracking and such. Because VC Face actually has like a sort of experimental feature of... Because it's like tracking the dots on your face, it will try to, you know... If you can actually map it, so it's like, oh, if you see these expressions while I'm talking or something like that, then make these sorts of expressions turn on. And then if you don't, and if you see this face, then it does these expressions. If you see that face, you do those expressions. Ooh, a blue tick. Hang on a second. Swanee. Oh my goodness. The fucking... Hang on a sec. Swanee has ventured far from his usual haunt to find you. Fucking Swanee. Look at that fucking hair. Grant! You're a hard bloke to find. I heard you throwed in your lot with the Resistance, so I came here looking for you. Truth is, we've run into a spot of bother back at the Arboretum and could use your help. If you're not too busy breaking your fasts on Garleans or whatever you're been doing out here, we'd be glad of your expertise. If you fancy lending a hand, I'll be over at St. Mokiani's. Fucking amazing hair. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. Oh, and then we have Wedge over there for the classic, no doubt it's for hunting the Omega. The hunt for, yep. And then, hi there, Luna. To kill a coral. Has been thinking a lot about the Temple of the Fist lately. Grant, just the man I was looking for. As you may know, Regal's Reach used to be a pilgrim site for followers. Cool. Alright, so these are all the different, like, dungeons now, aren't they? Starry-eyed Alamegan. Another striking opportunity. Your reputation precedes you. If the wide-eyed look the stranger is favoring you with is any indication. GrantZeebs, hero of the Resistance, greetings and well met. I wish to thank you for your countless deeds and service to our cause and share with you an opportunity which I believe may be of interest to you. There is a great and wise man, a veteran of countless battles, who waits for you outside Regal's Reach. Go to him and he will unfold all. Nice. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. I'll do the Omega, like, because I'm going to be real with you. I probably want to do the Omega with, like, maybe a bunch of peeps together, because normally they do, like, a full party thing. And I'm pretty sure I haven't yet finished the one in the Heaven's Ward expansion when they had, like, the big tower and shit. I think I haven't finished that one yet either. Because that one's, like, got the Son, the Father, and the Holy Ghost or something like that. Because you go through, like, the different arms, and then you go through, like, the head or something, and then the Creator. Greetings, Grant. 'Twould seem we are to accompany Aaron Vold on some matters of escapade. Have you any idea what we've gotten ourselves into? Allow me to explain. It'd be something of a history lesson, but I'll try to be brief. No snoring, if you please. Now, the events I would speak of occurred before the occupation, back when Alamigo was still a monarchy and the Theodoric sat the throne. A uniquely brutal despot by all accounts. That he was. The King of Ruin suffered no rivals, real or imaginary, and his dispute with the Monks of the Fist ended with Regal's Reach being burned to the ground. In the later years of his rule, he was seized by the unshakable belief that unseen forces were conspiring to steal his crown, and so he ordered that every soul with a claim to the throne be executed, including his own family. The wealth of the poor sods he put to death became the property of the king, and it's said that these royal treasures were hoarded somewhere in the palace. Thus was born the legend of the Mad King's Trove. They're good fun. I prefer them over Alexander, but they get better later on. Noted! Oh, I believe I see the direction our adventure is to take. I assume you have a mind to unearth this hidden bounty. You assume correctly. Oh, and would I also be correct in assuming that this legend is widely known? Others most surely have gone in search of your prize, tempting as it seems. Well, of course. We won't be the first to make the attempt. Following Alamigo's liberation, more than a few eager soldiers turned the palace upside down in hopes of claiming an easy fortune. But even after scouring every room from dusk till dawn, they uncovered not a single coin. Their gold lust drained away as quickly as it had come, and the legend of the Mad King's Trove remains simply that, a legend. Zeebs, and the Zeebs. But I see you have no intention of letting the story end there. What self-respecting adventurer would? Imagine the three of us delving into decades-old mystery. Tell me the thought doesn't set your heart to racing. Yep, my heart is racing, as you can no doubt see. There we go. Alright, what's this emote? Boxing. Cool. Dun, 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 dun. You have learned the emote box. Cool. I don't know if I really needed a thingy-majiggy for that, but thank you. Alpha nod. Ooh.
Ripper 253 demands you drink.
Alrighty then. I'll also stretch. I should really turn the hydrate into like a care package or something. So then that way it's like I can drink or I can stretch. Thank you. Thank you, Ripper. You can almost see the wheels turning in Alphanaut's head. Alright, so we got fending, slaying, aiming, healing, and cast. Okay, so fending is my thing. The news of Doma and Alamigo's liberation has kindled the flames of revolution in every corner of the Empire. I hear the Imperial Providence of Domaska has already risen up in rebellion, which means the Garleans must surely have their hands full. What better time than now to indulge in such a diversion? Tell us, Ehrenwald, have we any clues as to where we might begin our search? Well, judging by how the other treasure hunters fared, nosing about the palace isn't like to get us anywhere, so we'll probably need to ask around. Would that be another way of saying no? Well, yes. I see. In that case, I shall pay a visit to the Allied archivists and request access to the records seized from the Imperials. The Garleans are meticulous about such things. If they uncovered the trove during their occupation, the event is certain to have been recorded. In the meantime, the two of you can track down those who worked as palace servants and officials in Theodoric's day. Given that they would have been at least 20 at the time, you will be looking for people who have seen 40 summers or more. Anything they can tell you about the king and his bloody deeds may prove useful, so be sure to listen well. Ehrenwald, pray try your luck in the fringes and the peaks whilst Grant makes the rounds in the Alamegan quarter. Ha! And there I was thinking I was the party leader. Not that I mind, of course. Let's be about it, eh? We can meet afterwards at Galebard's Gate. Galebards. I'll figure out the name one day. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. Alright, so I need to speak to residents of the Alabegan. I need to speak to the battle-scarred fella over there. And this is Tequila Corral. I have now learned box. What does it look like? Nice! It's hard to think that Final Fantasy 16 is going to be coming out in like a week, less than a week technically, because actually no, yeah, a week, because if it today's Tuesday, it comes out on Thursday, so it's a little over a week, I should say. All right, how the fuck am I supposed to get? Okay, cool. So it is like just a long trek upwards. Unless this thing will help. Oh, it gets me to just quite literally there. Okay, so not really worth doing it that way. So I now need to do the fun long walk. Meow. And just, you know, press R, let it do its run, and check on chat to see if there's anything new. Nope, nothing new. Dun, 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 dun. Mm-hmm. Dun, dun, dun. There he is. Alrighty. Marjorie. Are you also interested in exploring the Temple of the Fist? I never dreamed I would meet a fellow enthusiast. I first learned of monks when I attended a lecture given by a historian named Eric. Ever since then, I have continued to be fascinated by their creed and approach to life. I thought I would come and pay a visit to the site of their most revered temple. Now that the Empire has been driven out of the region, the only issue is this man will not let me pass. The monks use the path to the temple to train. It is filled with all kinds of traps and obstacles that cannot be overcome by just anyone. It is precisely those traps and obstacles that I wish to study. Everything I have read states that those who are able to reach the temple will come face to face with a monk of legend. Does that not pique your curiosity in the slightest? Who knows what kind of lessons one could learn from a monk that has mastered their art? You wish to know, don't you, adventurer? Mm-hmm. You are the one who helped the resistance defeat Xenos V. Galvis? Well, you should be more than capable of handling whatever the temple has to throw at you, then. In fact, if you are truly keen to explore what lies beyond these doors, would you mind if I joined you? I am fairly familiar with the layout of the temple grounds from all the reading I have done. I know I can be of help. Oh, please take me with you. Oh, please. Hey, we've now unlocked the Temple of the Fist. I will get to... Oh, hello. Hi, hello. Oh. I just checked my Discord. Hang on. Ding, you in here? Is the group on? Yes, it is. Boy. Alright, invite to party. There's Velk on his fucking... Is that a centaur? Is he in the chat?
Yeah, you'll find out what that is later.
It...
Once we complete fucking Shadowbringers, I'll say that much.
Alrighty then, cool. So I'm still a ways. Alright.
Because that's part of the Shadowbringers raids.
Oh, neaties. I
Yeah,
haven't-
the normal raid series.
So yeah, I haven't yet finished. I haven't yet finished the what's-a-mahoozy dungeons, the ones from Alexander. So, oh, there we go. Wait, except
Popping over here to do
teleportation
something
to
real quick.
Kagane. Oh, you.
Yeah,
okay.
don't worry about it. I'm just doing something because I came over here to fucking swap the color of my fucking gear, but I forgot to change my damn hair color while I was here.
Actually, I can adjust my glamours here, can't I?
I think.
Should
Oh
be.
no, I don't have a
probably.
glamour wardrobe around here, so.
No, you can just use apply.
No, but what I mean is like adjust like this one here, because I don't have anything in the head. So you just see my dude with like sun. Actually, you know what? We're in patch content. I'm gonna put on the sunglasses. We're currently in vacay mode. And then once we get into Shadowbringers, then the sunglasses comes off. Registration canceled due to the commencement of customization.
Yeah, I'm just shouldn't be that long.
Not to worry.
I already
not to
know
worry.
what one I have to click on. To do hair color.
Alright. So
That's that, and that's that.
Rack is a healer. How many people did we need in the thingy?
This is 4.
Yeah. Okay. So this is an easy one. Item synced, not a problem. And then, yep, all 3 of those were done. Then there's all these
Yeah, all 3 of the main ones. We'll end up getting into the others later.
So yeah, so I still need to finish the Breath of the Creator, and I'm fairly sure if
So
I do complete that, it's just gonna teleport me all the way back to fucking Ishgard,
Yep.
or you know the
Yeah,
equivalency.
well, it'll bring you over there because, yeah, you have 2 more after that. from what I
Oh,
know.
okay.
Yeah. Because
Doesn't
there's
matter.
4 for each group.
Yeah. All right. So, but yeah. So the other missions I have are the last pillar to fall.
Okay, I'm good to go.
You good to go? Will this guys
Mm-hmm.
come to its own? All right. You join Jay. What's this one?
God, I need to work on getting some fucking...
Danebringer, deliver
Abyssal
the
blue
merchant
dye.
goods to Geralt and Az's. Oh, okay. That one requires items, but I think that requires me grinding, what's-a-mahoozy,
Oh.
things.
That, coming into its own. Oh, that's Heaven's Ward.
Yeah,
I
this is
just
the
remembered.
Heaven's Ward's relic weapon. And then
I still love the Heaven's Ward relics.
yeah.
I
feel like
need
it
to
was, like,
actually
the-
farm my shit for the the current ones actually, because I have a few at the second stage, but not all of them yet. Need to
Okay.
work on them.
All right, there we go.
What does it say you'll get from that one? The coming into its own. Just so I know which.
Give me a second. It would give me.
Like, is it because like there's animated, awoken, anima, hyperconductive, blah blah blah.
I
forget
think
which one
it
that one
gets. So I'm already on to the animated like it's the first.
Opening
It's
up.
like the second
Oh,
stage
okay.
of the Dark Knight, because what I did is I took the
Okay.
axe from A Realm Reborn, and I was able to skip the whole like anima thingy-majiggy in order to you know
Yeah, that first
basically
part.
skipping fates and what have
So-
you.
Okay, so what you have to do at the moment is basically spending a bunch of poetics and Grand Company seals.
Yeah. So that's fine because
Slash buying the shit on the market.
yeah.
That's the other
So
option.
this here will like help out because I think I spent quite a bit in getting the first bit, which is why like I've not yet been hit by any of the dungeons or raids and anything like that saying, oh, you're full up now. Because normally I'm full up at this point unless I've recently got new armors. Just focus this temple thing.
I just have a decent amount of my shit at the moment.
But yeah, it would get me... No thong. That's what it would get me. That's
Yeah,
what I
that's
would get
the
from the
base.
completion.
Yeah, that's the first part of the thing. And then after that, it's the hyperconductive.
Yep. So it's
Which,
still,
funny
like-
enough, the weapon you're about to get is the base of the one from the
Let me get you into a
Ultimate Red
line.
for Shadowbringers. Which I'll probably eventually get around to doing.
Do they make it so that each relic weapon, like, you can, like, after you complete the entire thing, you can just, oh, that's your fault.
No, they don't.
Okay.
Wait, so what's up?
I was just
Oh, are
wondering
you
if
talking about like the
similar...
turn it in for the next one
Yeah, because...
kind of thing?
Yeah, and-
no, they don't.
Okay.
Heaven's
Shit.
Ward is the only, like, A Realm Reborn to Heaven's Ward was the only one that did that.
Okay.
And it's partially because of the fact that, that Stormblood, it's like, you have to go into an area called Eureka, and that's the only place you can get the items for that one.
Okay.
And then for Shadowbringers, it's kind of similar, but you can double dip of both the exploration zone and normal content.
Alright, I'm gonna see if I can pull a little more. Go. Just so then that way, like, if AoEs go off, it's, like, more effective.
Yeah, it's usually good to go for bigger pulls when
Yeah.
you can.
So,
Although it's
'cause-
obviously like, it's obviously a thing of like whether the tank is comfortable with that kind of thing.
Yeah, and
Like
I want
me,
to...
I just say YOLO since
Hmm.
I've been playing tank for a while, so I'm comfortable with shit.
Yeah, because tank was, like, your main sort of thing for a while, wasn't it? And then...
Well, I flip flop,
Yeah.
but I'm especially comfortable with warrior, considering bloodletting is OP.
Okay.
Like hell, Valt can attest to this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't realize the moss balls were, like,
is
coming
just
out,
nutty.
like, in the middle of... There we go.
Like, no joke, as an example, Grant, with bloodletting on warrior, I can go from almost dead to full health in maybe like 30 seconds.
Nice.
Like,
Alright, everyone's...
because just bloodletting AoE is just so good.
If it's AoE, you can do it in one GCD.
Yeah, like literally. Yeah, like that's the thing. Like one GCD and then I'm basically full health again. So fucking good.
Oh, I got hit. I got greedy. Why is there two of them?
They're friends.
Okay, fair enough. Friends work. Oh boy.
They just happen to not be friend shaped.
Yeah. A lot of cats aren't friend shape in my opinion.
Alright, jeez.
You took that personally, did you?
What race am I playing?
The Rothgar. Yeah. Ooh, fending. What?
Slight cat.
How do I already have those boots?
Retainer?
From what I remember, some of these these later ones share the same gear.
Ah, okay.
'Cause I believe we're still in. No, yeah, because Velk, isn't this still the like before well, I'm trying to think 4.1
Yeah, this
dungeon?
is before.
Yeah, and all the like base like 4.0 like level 70 dungeons have the same gear. Because I know that's the way it is for like Endwalker as an example. Like all the level 90 ones that were out initially offer the same gear.
So it's a relatively like unique thing, say in A Realm Reborn and Heaven's Ward, where it was like, oh yeah, every dungeon had like a unique, even if it was just a minor.
I don't. It might have even been there, because I know that like some of the dungeons, like some of like the end of expansion, like I know at the end of the expansion they have like 3 dungeons typically
Fair.
at the max level, and I believe that they all have the same gear. I'd have to go
save
look
the
at
healer.
the loot pool for the A Realm Reborn and Heavensward ones and shit, but I'm pretty damn sure that that it was like that for them too.
I saw like the minute Velk healed that there was just like all of these like little minions that were just like, and our aggro is towards you. I finally saw an example of Joe Cat's video of like, you just do your job so well that everyone will hate you. Literally everyone.
I still love that my AoE dot, every time we kill one of them, I get 10 gauge. So if there's like 5 enemies there and we kill them all
Alright,
at the
so
same time, I get 50 gauge.
Stand here is probably an okay thing.
If you want, you can pop TBN and even stand in the orange and it'll pop.
Oh, okay. I'll give that a go. Where's my TBN?
Yeah, TBN's nice.
Wait, I forgot my button for the TBN. Oh, there it is.
The blackest night. I've actually gotten pretty good at like just all the tanks. Although I do have like preferences.
Yeah, but you've gone through this like a lot more than I feel like. Velk is a close. What the? I didn't know the statues would move.
Well, I've messed with like every class basically. It's just, and then there's just those ones that I like better than, like more than the others in comparison.
Gunbreaker on top can fillet a cactus.
Gunbreaker on what?
In top. One of the most recent
The newest ultimate.
Ah, okay.
It is not okay. Like, you need a science degree to be able to make that shit work.
Yeah, I'm not gonna mess with like the Endwalker ultimates anytime soon.
Well, even in the normal rating, Gunbreaker just has so much that you need to do, and it always overlaps with your burst window. Every time.
You don't have to tell me. I played Gunbreaker fucking for the fucking first tier.
Yeah, the second tier was abysmal.
Second tier, I looked at like the way that the balance says you have to do like the opener for Gunbreaker, and I'm like, yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, it's cooked.
I would rather just play Warrior.
Yep.
Fucking just
Or
bunga
Dark
bunga.
Knight. Paladin
Nah,
feels
I'll just go
fine now.
Warrior. I've just fucking defaulted to Warrior at this point if I'm gonna tank. It's just really comfy.
Oh wait, I thought that NPC behind us was a player.
Oh, I didn't even see that NPC. Very well.
They've been like sort of with us because like the story is like, oh yeah, she's coming with us because she wants to see the path.
Yep, you were correct. That was a tank buster.
Awesome.
Fortune Star.
I was like, let me just get behind that because I don't know what that's gonna be.
Hi, Ravana.
Oh, I got damage down. That sucks.
Fortune Star.
Fully resisted that. So wait, is there, like, these symbols mean things? Is that...
Well, his casts mean something.
Oh, alright, so I need to
remember
go...
if it's the same or different.
Oh, I need to go the wrong way. Damn it.
It's the same. Okay.
I thought
Four
all
and
four
up.
of them would be up. My bad.
Ooh, this is a little spicy. Fortune Star. I was out of that. Okay. Very well. Chill.
Wait, why am I doing AoE shit? It's just one enemy.
4 and up.
Oh, bullshit.
Killer Instinct.
Oh, my vulnerability is on
4 and up.
Oh, that was the tank buster I should have... Okay, and then... Yellow?
Fortune Star.
Lol, was that was that the final hit? Just me doing my really cheap AO ranged single?
Basically.
Funny.
Oh my god, I rolled a 98 on the gloves. Fucking hell.
Was that a need or a greed?
Agreed.
Ooh.
I still love the fucking when I got my first clear of P8S, like the last fight for not the current tier but the one before that. It was too fucking funny because basically I was on Summoner, or well no, it was my second clear.
What's with
I was
the
on
random
Summoner.
ward?
I don't know. Oh, it's an AoE. But basically, I was on Summoner. The Summoner weapon dropped, along with the weapon coffer, the chest piece coffer, the mount, I think the minion, and the orchestrating roll for the music. I ended up winning the. I obviously got the Summoner weapon because I was the only one who could get it because I was on Summoner.
Yep.
But I also got the weapon coffer that was there, the chest piece coffer, and the orchestrating roll.
Oh, you two are dumb.
And the main reason I even got it was because I got the fucking because I rolled a 99 on the weapon coffer. After I already got my summoner weapon. So I got 2 weapons out of that and a chest piece.
Hi, Thorin. Welcome to the stream.
And it was too funny because the dancer in my group, she was pissed.
I could imagine.
Because all she needed was the weapon. That was the thing, from what I remember. She just needed the weapon, and she was pissed. Because not only did I get my summoner weapon that actually dropped, but I also got the weapon coffer. But I'm just here like, don't blame the player, blame the game. Because not my fault I rolled higher. Like, don't blame it on me, blame it on RNG. Stuff like that just makes me laugh, because, like, when you have no control over shit, and you happen to beat out somebody for it.
Oh, I can't obtain that? Pass. Shame.
I think you already have that then.
Yeah.
You're wearing it.
Lol. Just not aware of what I'm wearing. I'm just like, hey, it's green and it gives me stats.
Wait. Oh yeah, that is the necklace, and yeah, you are wearing it.
That's just giving every...
Like,
all this AoE
like,
that's just like not hitting me. If I move, the DPS will move.
I saw the AoE, so that's why I moved. I was like,
Yep.
oh god. Dodge AoE.
Yeah.
God.
Does Thorn still stream?
Yeah, he's still been streaming.
Okay, alright, hang on. Let's see how quickly I can do this. There we go.
Hell, last time he was streaming, we were playing some Black Ops 3. I
Ah.
remember.
Yeah, it says,
Black Ops 3.
there we go, Black Ops
We were
3.
doing custom zombies.
Oh, it's a monk. I don't know how I feel. It looks cool that they're different colors. I don't know how I feel about them being different colors. Where the hell did you guys go? Oh, this way. It's down this way. Okay. Meow. I'm coming.
I would very much agree with that last message in chat.
Thorn is handsome. Yeah, Thorn's a big bull. Savage, however, has a bias. Oh, I should probably get out of the vortex thing, shouldn't I?
Oh shit. Touch of slaughter. I feel like I should get behind that.
You shouldn't.
I mean, get behind him. To that is what I meant.
Here. Do we get away? I guess we go away.
That's bold.
Oh, we got a group up for this one.
I'm a ballsy fuck when I play DPS. What can I say?
Orbs. Do we stand in one of them? 2, 3, 4.
Oh, these are damage ups.
They
Yep.
sure are.
Come on.
The limit is like 4, isn't it?
No.
Oh, really? We could have just picked them all up if we wanted to?
Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah, I was waiting for that second one to fucking give it to me. So it was a bit weird.
Will arm's length protect me?
It's not enough back. It's
Okay.
proximity.
Okay.
Yeah, those are proximity AoEs, meaning like the closer you are, the more damage it does.
Okay,
Basically.
okay.
Which, yeah, they actually have ones that don't have that marker.
What's that marker?
They have,
You can see their health.
Yeah, okay.
That's a nasty one.
but yeah, like that proximity thing, they have versions of that where there's no like visual for it. Velt can attest to this because fucking Titan in Uwu. Because you remember his fucking spawn. And that one's really sharp for that one.
And if you have him on the wrong angle, then guess what? You don't know where he's jumped.
Well, no, like, I mean, like, his initial spawn one after you kill Ifrit.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about that one. Like, that one is sharp as shit. You have to be, like, right at the wall, or you risk dying.
Nice. Ah, damn it, flew.
Because, like, the damage fall off for that is sharp. Right at the edge there, I've noticed.
There we go. Leave the duty.
Yeah. I want to take a look. See about anything with those.
There we go.
Emails.
All right, we can now talk to Miragerie.
Still
Oh,
pending
there's a
approval,
cutscene. Okay. Weird.
Damn. Sucks. There's only 2 of my emotes. 2 out of the 6 emotes I uploaded were instantly approved. I'm just like, damn.
I too am eager to hear just what went on in the closed fist.
We
That
got
being one of
fisted.
them.
Ah. What? It's the savage with the new color scheme and body type. You fought with Ivan Coralfit.
Borger.
How do you say that name? Corel? Or
That's
Co?
one of life's many mysteries.
Coral. They must
just
have
say
said this in
Coral.
FF at some point, though.
I
No.
just say it as Coral.
I say cat.
Doesn't have the same vibe of like Ivan Catfist. I have read that he honed his martial prowess by wandering the mountains, fighting all the cats he could find. See, it doesn't sound as great as all the Kurals that he could find. They say he took the creature's movements for his own, devising a style of fighting like no other. To think he had been waiting there all this time for a new challenger. My mind is made up. I, too, will become a monk. Oh, well, that's bullshit. Hearing your story, I realize that I must meet Ivan Coralfist myself. I will need to strengthen both my body and my mind to have any chance of reaching him. And I plan to start by working on my mind. There is still much I need read about the monks and their religion. Or perhaps I would be better served by searching for a local that is versed in the Fist of Ragal. Or Ralgar. Ah, allow me to thank you. I would not have awoken to my true calling had you not shown me the temple ruins. The next time our paths cross, I imagine I will look somewhat different. Until then... I'm just dumbfounded of just like, wow, this short ass like 4 eyes is gonna become a monk and be like extra swole or something. I can definitely say that I have never met a monk quite like her. It'll be interesting to see just how far she is able to go. Yay. What are the other items I need in the relic weapons Final Fantasy XIV? These are anima weapons that I'm working on, right? So,
Yes.
anima to animated. Alright, so, in Coming of Its Own, I need 10 unidentifiable bones, an unidentifiable shell, and unidentifiable seed.
Oh, that step.
Yes, that step. Currently, I do not see if I have it. I have all this other random shit that I've been breaking down.
Yeah, I should pop over.
Unless it's somewhere in there. Electrum, coral, titanium,
here.
mana rub, lime, sulfur, quicksilver. Where is it? Some cream cheese. I swear. Oh, I might have given her the first piece at the very least. So I'm gonna need to at least ask her what it is that I'm missing. All right.
Pushing past some cream cheese to see if you can have some unidentified shells in your inventory.
Battle, something tusk, Stalic. I also need to figure out what to do with like these things with the weird boxes on them.
They're collectibles, so you can hand them in for varying rewards.
I'm guessing if they're not like, you know, desirable, it's a really cheap reward.
They'll always give you scripts.
Okay. This makes no sense in my brain.
Okay.
It's been a long time since I've done the hand or the land stuff.
If you don't need them now, Or if you don't, you can throw them now safely, because you can easily get them again.
I can get like better ones most likely as well. So
Yeah.
discard. So yeah, because a lot of their collectability was like, oh, like 150 or 200, 542, and 540 something. So yeah, worst case scenario. I've always thought this, and I don't know how evil of a thought it is. It's like, oh, if I really wanted to commit to like getting through my hand and craft stuff, just get a bot just to do the resource gathering pit. Oh, I can actually move. Actually, no, I wanted to combine those materials when I had the chance, didn't I? Oh, but I didn't have the levels in the crafting in order to do that anyway, so that doesn't fucking matter.
Oh, you don't need levels in crafting to be able to combine them?
No, not to mine them, to the materia melding.
Ah, you mean putting them in your item. Okay.
Yeah, unless I go to this guy here, who I think only does it for a certain level.
Or you could ask me.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, anybody who has fucking crafter's level can do that shit for you.
I like figuring this shit out.
Ah,
on my
yes,
own.
servant,
Yeah,
second
that's
class.
understandable.
282, and then what's this one? I can increase. So no point in critical hit, determination, speed, and then tenacity is that thing. Okay, so determination or skill speed is what I can increase. So let's go with determination. Did he do anything?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
already
Yeah,
done.
he did. It's already done. There's just no, like, sound effect when he does it. That's dull. I like it when my guy does, like, a shing! Like, or shh, boom.
The whoosh.
The whoosh. Thank you. The whoosh. Wedge. Wedge wears the expression of a man at his wit's end. Grant! Thank the gods you're here. We need your help. In case you haven't heard, we've set up operations in Ralgur's Reach while we look for Omega. It's been decidedly slow going, I'm sorry to say, and we still haven't seen the blasted thing since it disappeared during the battle with Shinryu. Excuse me. Which is not to say we haven't made any progress. We know now that Shinryu ended up in the Imperial's hands and that it was shackled with some very distinctive-looking bindings when they found it. Obviously, only you-know-what could have done something like that, and the fact that the restraints were still functioning suggests it didn't shut down when the chief instructed it to either. Anyway, we were getting close to identifying Omega's whereabouts when we encountered what you might call a problem. Mayhap it would be best if you came to the workshop and saw for yourself. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. Alright, and then I'll grab this guy here as well. Searching for a friend of Gorlond Ironworks. Ooh, what's happened to you? What happened to him? Names, newly joined in the Garland Ironworks, pleased to meet you. Ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding. Bing. So something in Az's Law. Oh, okay. Alright, so we have Briggs over there. What's this? Lost Allergean Augmentation 1 and 2. Are these? Oh, hang on. Oh, no, I'm not 2. I'm a 1. Dark Knight. Here we go. Oh, I need the, all this stuff in order to... Whoopsies. What's this? Yep, so that wants gear as well. Which would be... Ah, these guys. Token exchange and such. Poetics. So, Dark Knight. So these are all...
You're
three
after the next one.
Oh, the next one?
Yes.
Uh,
The Daughter of War number 2. I think that'd actually be your
Yeah,
400. Nice.
yeah, you're gonna want to go for the 400.
Alright, so... Alright, so where's my weakest... Alright, so most of those are 290, and then This ring is 300, 282. No rings there. So let's go.
I would say get your basically everything aside from you, like anything that's below 300. Since you said you had shit under 300.
Yeah,
I'd go
there's
for
like
that first.
basically all that. So I can ignore the boots for now. Let's go for. I'll go for just the
'Cause I
chest because
typically
it's
go
like
for
the
the
most
lowest level.
expensive thing there. So then that way I can at least.
Chest
you know,
and pants are always the most expensive.
Yeah. All right. So equipped. And then glamour gear. 11? No. There we go. All right, and then what's token exchange?
Yeah. I still
Those
need
are
to
your
get my, yeah, that's where you'd get the weapon. And you can also see, like, weapons from the extremes and stuff.
Oh,
Like, as an example,
okay.
if you go to the Ultima weapon there, you can actually see what the Uwe ones are like.
Okay. So Bravura Ultima, Deathbringer Ultima. Nice.
Deathbringer-
Yeah, the Deathbringer
is-
Ultima is your Dark Knight one.
Pretty.
And then Skavan Gear Exchange. All right, so that's item level 400. 3. Okay, yeah. So the last one is Skavian, which. would
Yeah, the
give
Skaven
me-
Gear Exchange, that's just for your weapons.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
You might like to look at that greatsword from the Skaven one.
Interesting that it does like the little like.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, that I know that for next time. And what does this person do? This person augments shit, don't they? Which
Yes.
is Domain of War. This section here, I believe. So basically, I would need the items, and then I would need to do like 100. Wait, where did these
No.
go?
No,
this
those
is
you wouldn't have
old.
to worry about.
This is
basically,
only for
these
when
are-
you had to buy them with old tomestones way back in Stormblood.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so this would have been when you had to grab the, like, base, when you grabbed the base versions before,
Okay.
and you wanted to upgrade it to the augmented ones, because, so yeah.
Alright, yo. Oh, it's Neo again. Looking like he's from Devil May Cry with a little Final Fantasy drip in there. Surprised? Aye, so were we. He's been brought in as a consultant, believe it or not.
Oh yeah, these.
How many times do I have to tell you, you will play no part in this investigation? I do not remember Sid being this short. Like, why is this the camera angle that they give between Sid and Nero? Like, they're making him so much taller. Your motives were dubious from the first, and nothing you have done since has served to make them any clearer. Out of necessity, I agree to take part in Omega's activation, but that will be the extent of our cooperation. Passing judgment without due consideration. Openly disparaging colleagues. Not very chiefly of you, Chief. I'll have you know, I am a sensitive new recruit who thrives on encouragement. Then I trust you'll thrive elsewhere when I encourage you to piss off. I will not have him on our roster, Jesse. Never mind anywhere near our work. His employment is to be terminated, effective immediately. The thing is, Chief, we've already paid him in full, and it wasn't exactly a pittance either. For this, what we get was the agreement. Look, whatever disagreements you might have had in the past, the fact is, we could do with his expertise now. Let him earn his keep at the very least. I'm gonna be real. This sounds like if, you know, a devout American working at NASA is like, oh, we brought in an expert to help with our rockets, and it comes out to being like, you know, some Nazi or some shit, and you're just sort of like, absolutely fucking not. I don't give a shit about Operation Paperclip. I don't believe this. You claim my wholly justified ventures respected an unsustainable risk to the ironworks, and then pay him a sultan's ransom to advance? Him! Give me strength. Hi there, Furry Cures, and yes, you are a very long way behind from the start of the stream. I've been streaming for like the last hour and a half. This has been the way it is for a while now, on account of which we've had to put the investigation on hold. Let me know how it goes. I'm leaving. Ta-ta. Tisk tisk. It is not like you to shirk your duties, hero. Were you not present at Omega's activation? And are you not therefore jointly responsible for the havoc it may wreak if left to its own devices? I think we both know the answer. From this moment forth, you shall be my chaperone. With the realm's savior watching my every move, I couldn't possibly make any mischief, which should surely serve to allay my employer's concerns. Forgive me, Grant. It was not my intention to embroil you in this mess. I didn't even know you were here. Seeing as you are, though, I cannot deny that I would be glad to have you on board. The fact is, we are no longer closer to understanding the true extent of Omega's powers, and even if it was damaged during its encounter with Shinryu, it seems highly doubtful that we will be able to disable it unaided. Have to dip? Oh, okay, not to worry, Velk. We have got as far as identifying its likely resting place, but I, for one, would feel a lot more confident about surveying the area with you around to deal with unexpected surprises. Might I persuade you to lead us a hand once more, old friend? Me? Absolute. Then it is settled. Chief! We have a problem! The etheric concentration levels at the Yawn are soaring! Our readings doubled from one moment to the next, and by the time we went to check it, they've doubled again! What? But that could only mean... Evacuate the area. I shall handle this matter personally. Biggs, Wedge, Grant, I need you with me at the Yawn. To the south of here. That's where we believe Omega came to rest. I'm gonna be real, I forgot what Omega is.
Oh my god, Steam.
Jesse, hold the fort while I'm gone, and if possible, continue surveillance from a safe distance. Alright, Chief. Watch yourself out there. And he's just like, not my problem. Am I to stay and mind the shop too? Just shoulder shrug. Got nothing else. Oh no, I'm not letting you out of my sight. But before you fill the room with maniacal laughter... Cookie for Sky! Before you fill the room with maniacal laughter, I want you to remember something. When you collected your inexplicably lavish fee, the Ironworks creed became your creed. That's freedom through technology, in case you've forgotten. Not supremacy through Allergian ingenuity. Breach this contract and I will have my Ponza flesh. Evildoer just sort of shrugging is just like, I don't know what you are talking about. What's with the magic tech terminal? No data available. Cool. Alrighty. Dun, dun. Is there any other blue... Oh, there's a blue tick over there. Oh, it's the Eureka.
I love when I tell Steam to pause a download it's trying to do, but it just doesn't do it.
Usually, closing Steam is like the better option. Wait, you're in Canada. Shouldn't you have like...
close Steam.
You're in Canada. Shouldn't you have like, you know, absolute glorified like gigabit speeds and such, so multiple applications aren't an issue?
Well, it's like, the thing is, when I download shit like this, it'll still affect, like, my game and stuff.
Okay.
And it's like, the thing, and then the other thing is, I can't close Steam, because I need Steam open to play Final Fantasy.
Ah. Wait, you don't have it as a thing where it just defaults to pausing everything while gameplay is running? Because normally that should override it.
It's set to that. But for some reason, it doesn't fucking work.
Huh.
Like, I have the fucking setting of allow games to install while I'm playing turned off.
Hmm. Alright,
Yeah, allow downloads during gameplay. I have that off.
Alright, so view the venture report. Confirm. Trust and withdraw. Sell these items. Entrust your retainer. Yep, cool, you can hold on to them. Alright, so this is where the food goes. I don't have any food to give him. Sorry, I'm just like getting rid of like a lot of my stuff and throwing them into here. Enchanted rubber, and that should... Oh, cool, I have like another 50 slots available. Okay, so I must have... Oh, I didn't realize there's an entrust duplicates option. That's helpful. Oh, wait, hang on. Iron plate. There we go. Now I'm down to like, you know, 2 and a bits. And then this guy had a venture as well. And I can reassign some of his equipment. So right now he's equipment level like 170. So I can give him... Okay, I can give him the red tide thingamadiggies, which is 270, and that's 130. Okay, so that's item 300. This is item 282. And then... Okay, so that's for the conjurer. It's a bracelet. Okay, so there's no new bracelets I can give. Oh, wait, no, I can give him this one. And then... ding, sort. $265, that's $130. Go. And then feet, meanwhile, I can give him... It's a shame that there isn't like a thingy-majiggy for me to be able to automatically assign stuff. Alright, impassable peak is 165. This is 150. 62 and 80. Oh, okay, well, definitely give him that. Can I give him any of my... No. The only thing I can give him that's like worthwhile is most likely the feet, which is currently being used by my warrior. I'll be able to fix the warrior later. Right now, he goes into item level 260 because of most of the stuff that I've given him. Oh yeah, because this is the augmented hell thingy-majiggy. So yeah, that ups him. And I can have him sell that. I'll just have you sell that as well. What can I give you? You those, and that's it, I think. Oh wait, I can give him like these commercial thingamajiggies. I don't have a need for them. And then keep those, keep these. Alright. And now I can assign him to a new venture. And I can have him go up to like a much higher, like level 65 with the higher requirement, which he meets. So he should be able to get like stronger thingamadiggies now. And there we go. I'll be able to move their shit, you know, at a later time. Dink. And then I should probably go into my warrior and swap everything as such. And then back to our Dark Knight. Wait, what's my... 76, and then my Dark Knight is 7. Oh, okay, cool. So it's not too big of a item difference. Alright, so that's all the blue ticks there. I can hand in a quest that's, like, just outside. And then we can go into another dungeon or trial. So... I might go with the Dravinian Highlands, the one where it has us go through the Breath of the Creator. That way I can get that Ishgardian stuff out of the way done. Dink. It is you, the legendary... I couldn't be cared reading the rest of this. Thank you. Another striking opportunity. You now have access to the Circle of Answers, an expansion of Stone Sky Sea. This training ground can be accessed by speaking with the battle-scarred veteran outside of Regal's reach. Cool. Don't know what that means for me. Alright, so we got a blue tick over there, another blue tick over there, and then a blue tick over there. All of them are like probably... If I double-check my Aether Currents... Where are we currently in? Gear Albania. So it's not that. Oh, we're in the fringes. Okay, so I have gotten the fringes done. So what are the blue ticks for? Oh, the blue ticks are probably for dungeons, aren't they? You ready for the Breath of the Creator?
Hold on. Trying to see if what I just did will fix this fucking bullshit.
Alrighty then.
Oh god, don't go installing that, you stupid bitch. Don't install that game. I told you don't install it before. What? Very much. Holy crap. Okay, now it's detecting my games as installed. For fuck's sake. Jesus Christ.
Steam doesn't do a really good job in trying to do, you know, that whole multiple jobs at once on the disc when it's currently using the disc as well to run a game. Not that great for DRM.
Oh no, it wasn't that. It was the moment I rebooted Steam, it didn't register my other, like, it only showed my C, it only was detecting my C drive as being a library for where my games would be, even though I know I set it up with my other drive, so I had to re-get that set up, and then the folder was, instead of being named Steam, it was then Steam Library. So I then had to copy everything over from the base Steam folder it made originally. I'm just like, oh my god.
Weird. You good now,
Should
however?
be working now, though. But well, I have to load the game back up, though.
Ah, okay.
I have to wait for it to load back up.
Stuff.
Hey.
Yeah, keep all them.
Oh.
Alright, 77. Alrighty, let me do a random roulette. You know what? I'm gonna explore this map a little bit to help, like, fill it out. Dun, 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 dun. So are you looking forward to Final Fantasy 16?
I'm not sure.
Not sure
how
yet?
I'll mess with it, to be honest.
They've released the demo, at least, for the PS5. That was a very tempting thing to, like, go through tonight, rather than bamboozle people into being like, oh, it was going to be Final Fantasy 14, but psych, it's Final Fantasy 16. The Himbo doesn't know how to count. But I didn't want to do that to chat. So, granted, chat doesn't really have, you know, that much to say in the matter. They just have to deal with me. Ooh. Ooh. I'm missing out on Blue playing Kingdom Hearts. This is gonna be hilarious. How long has he been 25 minutes, okay. So, he's probably gone, like, relatively quickly. A young Seeker of the Sun has seen fit to issue me several challenges to combat. I can only assume he assumes the role of Nua and leader of our people. Tradition dictates that the strongest among us must take the position, so I gladly face any who believe they are fit to lead. The problem, however, is that this challenger is decently weak. Yet, no matter how many times I put him down, he refuses to concede. His invitations to duel were a mild annoyance at first, but I've come to find his single-minded determination to be intriguing. In fact, I was hoping you would consider training him. I realize how absurd it sounds to help my rival to be, but I am curious of his potential. If you would take him under your wing, he's likely loitering about Verdija. Safe travels. Alright, cool. So that one's a bit of a weirdies. And then the Omega is that away. But we also need to fill out this map here. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. There we go. New area unlocked, giving me a little bit of a level up. Companion, there we go. So he's rank 8 right now. That's a big hole. Oh, Jesus, don't fly into the big hole. Chat, we're gonna need to raid into Blue Foxy Nicey IC. We're gonna need to raid into him. Just we'll do like a hit and run sort of raid, okay? We're gonna raid into him, and then I'm gonna be back here in like 5 minutes, okay? It's gotta be funny, all right? Just hear me out, cause like, hang on, let me pause the let me just play what's in the background. He's playing Kingdom Hearts. He's playing the first one. But he's playing it on the PS2 edition, so he can't skip cutscenes and shit. All right, hang on a sec. So we're going to do the Pog face. Pog. And then... All right, we're going to go... We're going to go raid into Blue. It's going to be a hit and run raid, okay? So... I'm going to raid into him. That's going to be our raid message. And I will be back in like two minutes or less. Because it's going to be hilarious, okay? I'll see you in a few seconds, okay? We're going to go raid into Blue. Savage, you're going to join me in as we raid into Blue? It's gonna be
Sure.
it's gonna be hilarious. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, and raid.